Hello and welcome back to Rollercoaster Tycoon, where we are looking at the two latest additions to the park, which are the go-karts that we built, or also known as the Damage 750, for which we do not have ratings. Oh yeah, we do. It's not bad. And also the Mungunguba Wadi, for which we do not have the ratings. But yeah, this is what we built last time, and it actually results in getting a few more guests into the park, which is good, because we need them. And it basically also gives us the opportunity to kind of fill out this area of the park with rides. So what I think we should do, and well, you know, we basically finished last video with doing a vandalism check, so we don't need to do that again. And we also we're pretty good on our prices, I believe. Right? Yeah, definitely. We're good on our prices, so we don't need to worry about those either. So basically, it's all good. Let us build rides. And I think a gentle ride and a thrill ride is what we need here. Now, I think a haunting mansion. We only have one of those, I believe. So, yeah, good. We can definitely get away with like one of these. Obviously, it's not gonna have this type of entrance style, but let me see. I believe we went with the wooden one, and that's what we're also gonna go with. Is it jungle? Jungle looks okay. How does wooden look? Wooden also looks okay. What do we have with this one? We have wooden. Let's go with jungle for this one, just to mix it up a little. I don't think it makes any difference, but still, you know. Now, let's leave it at $1, and why don't we call this, and this is more or less a reference to a certain game that I have been playing for very long. If you know it, then you know what it refers to. So yeah, double ghosted. And also I feel like a thrill ride over here. Now this actually, I mean, you don't really see it that well, but there is a bit of room here. And is there the possibility for us to connect up the exit? Yeah, there is an option for a shared exit here. What if we try and see if we can get a shared exit here rather easy, and then just fill it out with like a queue path? What shall we do over here though? I mean, we can do like the spinning wheel, of which we only have one. We could also go with the ship, for which I also believe we only have one. Ship might not be such a bad idea, actually. Wait, let's see. If I want to line up a nice ship, yeah, let's go with a ship. I think that's good. And of course we'll do it like this. Entrance, and then exit. Kinda needs to be over there. Let's see if we can actually get this sorted proper. Yeah, no, I don't think we have any issues here. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. The only issue I now have is that, well, actually this is not too bad either for like a queue size. Good, okay, ship built. And room for some scenery, which is not that unimportant, you know. We should not neglect the needs for scenery here. Now, this is at height 11 by default. We have the ship over here set to like max swings. And this is like less than a minute queue time. Wait, that's not the view that I need. With only like a 3-tile queue, and this is a 4-tile queue. Right, well, you know, that makes it rather easy to choose what we're gonna do. How is the pricing on this? $2. I'll have this be even cheaper then, you know. So that it's that big an investment. Yeah, you know, it's gonna be $1.50. And we're gonna call this the undercut, because that's what we're doing here with the pricing, huh? The undercut. Obviously, yeah, well, actually, jungle on this ship also isn't that bad looking if we keep this color theming. And it matches rather nicely with the supports here. And you know what? This is like the real cheese, but we're just gonna stick with it as is. You know, build it, name it, done. That's basically what the way we're operating right now. Nice. Well, that's also another thing that I wanted. We have room to do the same over there, but I feel like we do not want to overdo it just yet. Do we have the exotic seafood thingy? No, we don't. Right. Eggheads. How far are you guys? Oh, we just got it. Yeah, there it is. Nice. Okay, guys. I think what we need to do is add this throughout the park. So, let's see. First of all, let us get one, like over here. Oh, okay. It's not gonna be over there. I just learned. Let's have one there, right? And then let's also have one here. And then maybe another one here. Now we need to keep in mind that we need to place these always near drink stalls. That's the important bit here. So then maybe another one, say like, I don't know, maybe somewhere here. Would we be able to squeeze one in like there? Yeah, that's nice. And another one somehow somewhere over here. This will also work. Good. So far so good, really. Well, that's on like the main straight, which I like. And then we'll have like a final one there. Yeah, pretty good. I did open you, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Good, so now we have like 6 more shops and stalls. And basically what I want to do now, because this is pretty filled up, isn't it? I think what we should do is... Wait, hold on a second. Haven't we... We have one there. Let's not build them too many, you know, because I don't want to overdo it. And I also think like next thing we should do is not to do a shop and stall, but we're gonna build a coaster. So let's research the next coaster. Just one, you know, because we're gonna build our coaster right now. And I feel like the best place for it right now would be elevated, you know. So we utilize this little bit here and we build the station like this. There's not gonna be a shared exit or any of that fancy stuff. But what we are gonna have is like a pair of the wooden coasters. Now you might be thinking like, wait, Damage, have you taken a look at your money? And I have, and I know it's not much. So what we're gonna do before we do that is we're gonna cash in on a little reserve that we have here, because we're gonna need it. So because this is just a path there that is just basically like banked money. I mean, we can only do this once, but, you know, I feel like now is the time that we need to do this. And then this is path that we, you know, that we actually will use at some point in the future. Also, is it just me or is the park like really dirty? I have a feeling that it is very dirty. I might be wrong though, it might be just my perception, you know, playing tricks on me. I have a feeling that there's like vomit everywhere. I think, you know, I think my mind is deceiving me, and this is just, you know, what I'm afraid of is happening in the park, is what I'm seeing. Ah, well, I think we need to have our handy dude take action over there. Right. Now, there is more though that we can remove. There is like a quick and easy cash grab, and that is the scenery over there. So let's also remove this. Look, 150. Now don't mind me if I just take all of this. Free money, you know. I haven't spent a single buck placing it, so... Look, and this gives us 4,000 game euro bucks, which makes it instantly better, right? Now, still, it's a little bit meager to start the construction of a coaster with. But we wouldn't be ourselves if we didn't at least try. So that's what we're gonna do. We are actually going to start the construction of this wooden coaster. Now, it doesn't say so. As for like where it needs, it can live, it's like from here till over here. I don't know if it is clever to have it be like right next to this coaster. Maybe. In the underground we're free here basically. There is a line here with this path, but I don't think we'll be too bothered by that. Having said that, it runs at height 4, which means it's pretty possible actually. Yeah, I think we should run just alongside this this coaster section here. If we run right alongside it, I think we're good. Okay, so having said that, let us start construction of this thing, like right here. Obviously this will be canvas tented, and I want to make sure, it's like 7 cars the limit, or is it like, might go with the 1? Yeah, okay, so we don't really need this to be that much longer. Now, obviously this needs to be here. Entrance, come on here. The exit needs to be like here. Okay, here then. There's no escaping that, you know. And before we even continue with anything else, what we also need to ensure is that we hook this thing up before we run into too much trouble. And I know that it's kind of a waste doing it like this in terms of like hooking up connections, but we're not gonna hook up anything else there anyway. So I'm not feeling that terrible about doing it like this. All I need to do is basically, game, if you don't mind, would you please let me, thank you. Now, as far as I can tell, this is pretty doable like this, isn't it? It seems good. It seems good, you know, functional exit path thing here. So, there we go. Right, look, and you know, I was talking about the money. In the time that we took to hook this up, and I don't think I could have done this much quicker, you can basically see that with every ride that we add, we're slowly adding towards the, you know, the amount of money that we generate again. So even with the low amount of money we charge at the moment, we're still generating more and more money per ride that we build. And because the base is already pretty good, yeah, we're good, you know. I think we'll be able to get at least something half decent going. Now, as for where this coaster is going to go, if we zoom out a little bit, I kind of want this to... You know, what I would really love if this coaster can pull that off, you know, is for it to go up, then somehow make like a twist and turn, and actually resurface like right next to its own tracks, like over here on this line, go above the entrance, and then dive right in between here again, and then into the underground, and then maybe resurface over here or over here. Then do another fancy thing, you know, maybe even resurface on the hill, because that's like less waste of good flat terrain. And then get up and get back. So it's not going to be an ultra good design, you know, like a grand coaster, because we don't have the money for that. But what we can do is get like a 7.5 or something, I think, which should be possible. And to do that, I think what we want to do is have this go into the underground quite a lot. So we can either lift it or drop it. But dropping it isn't really the option, because that's the way the track is. So, well, you know, that leaves no other option but to lift it. Obviously, we're gonna do the cheapy trick, you know, with the lifting technique that I always do. So today is no exception to that. We don't really need to go that high with this coaster either. Nice, that's a pretty big drop. I like it. Then You don't want to go towards the same height. Small curve. Alright, now we need to watch it, because I'm looking at our money and I just see it decreasing like rapidly. So here's what I want to do. I want to get to rock bottom and then basically do like these type of curves to line us up so that we can start doing the thing that I just described. So to that end, let us first see that we get to rock bottom. Which I don't think will be an issue. Now we are lined up for the exact spot where we want this thing to be. Right, now, just out of curiosity, this ride here runs. It might actually be more tricky than you'd think. Yeah, so now we're running like straight into the monorail. That's cool. Is this like viable even? I mean, we come from I-23, so speed-wise it should not be an issue to do this. Then basically, nice. Okay, just right now visibility starts to become more and more of an issue. Okay, so far we seem to be lucky with where the track's going. And I'm leaving the game running right now here because, oh look, we get an award for the best value park. No, but I leave the game running because we need to generate a little bit of money. Basically what I want to do is resurface inside the hill. Or over here. Now let's resurface inside the hill. I think that's better. So that means what we can also do is line ourselves up to resurface like right next to that ride. I think that's not a bad idea. That's not lining ourselves up for it right next to it. That's lining ourselves up on the inside. That's also pretty cool. Let's see what we can do if with this setup here. In theory, this shouldn't give too much of an issue. And then, okay, now let's see, how does this line up? It's basically what I want to know is like, is this like in line with the station? And it's not. I think though, if we go with like the, nice, did I just see that we got ourselves a mine train roller coaster? I did. Let's get back to like do another shop install. So. Now here's another thing that I want this coaster to have, and that is the the water splash. This is gonna be part of this coaster, one way or the other. Also, I think we need to be like one lower, but I'm afraid that we will get a pathing issue. So that's why we need to be on like height 9, and then just basically after the water splash, drop it down by there. Nice. I quite like it, and because it only has like one train, it will be crash proof no matter what. So that's actually pretty okay. I quite like that. Now it doesn't have that many drops. It has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I mean, to say that this is like a grand ride would be lying a little bit. But I also don't think that this will be like that crazy in terms of in terms of operating costs, because it isn't that big. Now, the not so clever thing that I did is have this go over here, because there will be another coaster on the other side, which we'll have to build shortly. Maybe it would be clever if we left the game running for just a little bit whilst we name it. Shall we call this the Andromeda? Not that it's a derpy coaster or anything, but well, you know, I mean, we need to give it some cool name, so we might as well. Now, as for this, we go with, of course, the canvas tent style. And let's see. Also, you know, with like 2000 on the you know, in the pockets already, I feel like it's good enough for us to. Wait. You are testing? Yeah, you are actually. All right. How's it looking with the G's then? Hey, it's quite often at like 0G. And then also quite often at like pretty high G's, but never above 4. And I think the G's is pretty tolerable for this coaster. So yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Anyway, with like 2000 in the pocket, that's more or less what we started this coaster with. So I feel like, yeah, you know, we're good. Let's go with like a classic coloring here. And I want white supports on this coaster, like we have over there. But because this is more of like a brownish area, I feel like white supports is good. And then maybe like this. Is this looking good? I don't really like it that much. I also don't like that. What if we do this? Gray tracks. And then with like yellow and purple? Nah. I don't know. I don't like gray either. Ooh, that's toxic. That's really toxic. Maybe this wasn't so bad after all. Yeah, well, we'll stick with it, you know. Andromeda. Yeah, it's good enough. Good enough as is. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be like a really long coaster. But what we do want is like the next one right next to it. And the mine train is like the next coaster that we got, which I feel is like pretty okay. That is pretty good. Pretty good it is indeed. Now then, let's get like. Wait, hold on a second. This isn't the mine train coaster we're building. Yeah, I was just worried that like, wait, did I just by accident click it? And guess what? You know, I know myself better than I want to admit. Anyway, this is good. I think if we're clever, we basically go straight over there. You know, that's like a good queue construction, good size of the queue. Wait, yeah, that's better. What? Oh, balls! Good. Then let's go with the brown dirt path here. Oh, you know what I also forgot to do, by the way? Just now realizing it, you know, now that we're setting stuff up here, it's like, hey, handy dude, maybe we want like an extra guy here. Just maybe. Just saying. Yeah. You know what? We might also want like an extra mechanic. Do we really want that? What's our staff wages? So a mechanic is like 55, and this is 35. So we'd go to like 2,200. But with the coasters, yeah, no, I think it's worth it. Let's go with like an extra handyman. So we need that for that exit anyway, and this will also help clean, keep this area clean, but also get an extra mechanic. Because the two coasters, they will most likely pay for that, you know, and a little bit more. So I think we're good enough to afford it. And if not, we will soon regret our choices, right? Right. Anyway, is this back already? It is. It's not that great though. Maybe with this next coaster, we should add a little bit more track pieces to it. Because in reality, you know, I expected a little bit more. We can do that, of course, provided that we have the money for it. Now, obviously, so far, this is going to be the same. But next, I feel like we should maybe take a small break from coaster construction and get back to perhaps tree spamming. Because of, well, rating issues, maybe like a few statues here and there. Maybe also like a few flower gardens here and there. Just trying my best here to crank up the ratings there. Yeah, I know. It's not looking that good. Oh wow, this is all too high for like a... No. Maybe. I don't know if that will add all that much, but we'll see. It sure also helps with the looks a little bit. Good. Now here's the positive thing about this. It actually helped with our money situation. Now though, because we go up a little bit later... No, it's not working the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I was afraid that would happen. And if we do this, we will need a lift. That's what it comes down to. Right, let's just have a quick look at what we require here. Because this coaster needs to be a little bit better. And I wanted to more or less do like the same type of trick here as well. But we have an issue with this coaster here. So, would we be able to instead do something like this? This is a not so good line for this, is it now? Thinking here, you know, maybe let's try something else here for a moment. Balls. This is not really the definitive design here, but are we able to... like I said, this is not the definitive design. Ooh. I'd like myself some of this action, if I'm honest. And in theory, if we come up over there, we should be able to do that from like a dive from the underground. Huh. Now that, to me, is very interesting. I quite like that. Wait, hold on a second. What? We are... Oh, this is not good. How many of those messages did we already have and I didn't see them? I did just hire a mechanic. Boilepo, where are you? I believe right now, if you open this thing, it's in alphabetical. Yeah, it is. So all the way over there. Alright, so this is like the slide thingy. Oh, you're fixing it. Right, so there is an actual mechanic doing its job as we speak. Is this true? Are you the mechanic? It's a bit hard to see because our mechanics are yellow. If we change all of them. Oh, well, that's definitely our mechanic, alright, you know. Just saying, that's our mechanic, you know, because I can change the color. Right, so that message is kind of a little bit obsolete because, you know, stuff is being fixed already, so not much to worry about. Also, can I have this view, you know, the one view that we were working in? Now, as for like where we want to be, it is rather easy. And that is basically just like over here. And I think we want to get up even earlier, but I'm not sure if we're able to. Also, I have the suspicion that we're doing this on the wrong, because I believe we actually want this. Oh, okay, now that's annoying. But that's okay, we can deal with this. I believe this will line us up, but I'm afraid that we might run into terrain issues before this. However, we want this to be like one further out. And then yes, this is the way we want stuff to be. No, we don't. We are actually spot on like the first time. Nice. Right, guys. This is what I wanted with this coaster. How cool is it that we pass through this bit? Granted, I wanted to have this do something else, and the speed on it will be rather high at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll go up, and I think rather than going straight and doing the same thing, we'll have ourselves do like a loop around here, and then dive down here. How cool would that be? I think pretty cool. Also, are we able... No, we're not. We need to be straight with this one. But we can at least do this. And then loop it around. Yeah, well, actually, if we want to pass like our own coaster, want to do something like this. And then at height 10. Right, let's just have like one moment of, okay, what the F are we doing exactly again? Speed will be pretty high on it. I think what we should do is go up, curve, and then do like a drop down. And then loop outwards, and then, or maybe drop down, get up, then do the outward loop, not too high, and then also do like the same type of descent over here. Which I think would be cool if both of the coasters have like a water splash, but this one's a little bit more elaborated. It kind of does make it impossible to place anything here, unless it's like a real low ride, but fine. If that's the consequence of our choices, I'd take them any day. Now, in theory, okay, so that's not gonna happen. But we should have plenty of pace to get up one. Now, never mind. Apparently we cannot. Then it should work like this. And it isn't, because, oh, there's just plenty of footpath built there, apparently. Who builds footpath there, you know? Is it crazy? What we can do, though, is maybe do like an S-bend. I feel that is like a good idea. We don't have any S-bends in this coaster yet. So, there. One straight, and then up again. Nice. I like where this is going. And then, basically, this should be doable rather easy. Like that. Oh, nice. I like this. Another underground section. And then, basically, we'll have this go down. Because right now we're a little bit too low, but it's not that bad. Because I believe, oh, that lines up perfectly. Nice. And then we'll go up. And then basically we'll just follow along this other coaster here. Look, as if it were. What now? Are you gonna bitch about the terrain all of a sudden, coaster? Yeah, apparently so. That's all that was needed, really, but look at how nice that is. Nice. Now it is September year 3 already. That took longer than expected. We still have October. And we have a pretty solid guest situation as well. We also have the cotton candy stall and another shop coming. I feel like that's enough for now. Let's go with the gentle rides. Because I feel like we will need a few of those. And before we continue with all the other jazz, let us do like a quick vandalism check. Because I want to be on top of this stuff, you know. I cannot have anything demolished. It's just not acceptable. Also, you know what I think will greatly help with our guest count? Is if we open up a little bit more path space in the park. And I feel like that's, you know, we're due for that as well. Because it's been a while since we last expanded. I believe we opened up like this section last time. Not that there's much to do here. I mean, all the rides are hooked up to the other side. But still, you know, there is... Oh no, well, that's actually not true. The water ride is there. And I believe that's about... Oh, no. I'm exaggerating. There's a water ride. There's like 2 thrill rides. One of which is the damage 750. Why is there... It's the redemption. Nobody's in the queue, but the price is good and it is making money. So I don't feel too worried about it. Now, as for like this coaster, it has more drops, I believe. It has underground sections. It has pretty much everything. It has more curves. So why don't we first of all, be put to 10 minutes. Second of all, do like a test ride. And then be opened up for like $3. Now, I do want to be sure that like you, as a coaster, what are your operating costs? You'll make some money per hour, so, you know, I'm not that worried about it. And I think that this one will be just as good. So why don't we call you... basically it is like the knot that ties the other coaster, right? I mean, the design isn't that great, but it isn't that bad either, is it? It's okay. One of the few more up and downs in it, but we'll see. Let's call this like the Gorgonian. Yes. Like the Gorgonaut, you know? That's kind of what it's referring to. White supports are good. Definitely keeping those. But instead, let's go with something fancy. Maybe... No, 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 no. No, we can't have that. This is toxic yellow. But it matches the, you know, the coaster that it goes through rather nicely. I must admit, I rather do like, you know, what I'm seeing here. I'm thinking I'm gonna stick with these colors. And then maybe do these like blue and white as like, you know, the total opposite. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. Now, as for this one, with the coaster next to you, you've had 6.31 added. I don't think you'll get above 7, but it's kind of okay. Could have done a little bit better, but with the money we have, you know, it's more or less the max we can do. As for the rest, you should be set up in such a way you'll never wait more than like 20 seconds, because the Adrometerp says, yeah, look at that. I don't think you need to wait longer than 25 seconds. It'll be easily filled up afterwards. And the same is true for you. And I'm not even gonna wait for the ratings. We're just gonna take them synchronized straight away. So, there. Right. Now we should also have the ratings of this. The Magungu Babadi is actually not bad. Good. Well, guys, I think the park is pulling together a little bit. It's still going to be tight because the last 150 guests are not going to be easy. But we might just be able to pull something off. Also, are you not making money anymore? Well, you're not making much money. Ah, well, we'll do the pricing another time. As for like what's next, we basically filled this up almost. You know, I'm gonna slam down like a thing here. We'll figure out what later. But I think next time what we should do is open up like a pathing section like over here. There's already path here, so all we need to do is just connect stuff up. But it's rather big, so maybe we'll do some, you know, some extra path works. But how exactly is something we're gonna find out next time when we play more Rollercoaster Tycoon.